Hey everyone, I'm Wa.
And I'm Chris, and welcome to DocuSweeties.
We're two longtime friends who discuss the riveting and sometimes trashy world of reality TV and docuseries.
Yes, but through our own lens, which can be death-defying and very comfortable. In fact, lazy or quite brave, but at the end of the day, hopefully mildly sweet. Hi. Hello. We are talking the Jinx, the life and deaths of Robert Durst. This is season 2, episode 4, the unluckiest man in the world.
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get into this. So we open with Brad Roberts, a homicide detective that's on the stand, and he brings up the infamous envelope, and it has a note. And this is the one where there was a letter written to the police with a misspelling of the word Beverly, and they consider this the cadaver note that
Mhm.
we talk about. This is um
Cadaver. Godiva is chocolate.
I said cadaver, which you're right. It
Mhm.
was like a mixture of both those words, cadaver, cadaver. Yeah. You're right. So we cut to Robert Durst, and he's talking to Janine Clark, his old girlfriend. He goes, "Hi, Janine. Long time no speaky."
Hi,
Which,
Bob.
hey, I got a question. Do you have any envelopes? Envelopes where I spelled the word Beverly right or
Uh,
wrong?
Bob, I I'll check for you.
Oh, thank you, honey, baby cakes.
You're
So he does the
welcome,
same
Bob.
thing to Debbie, his other wife, who he never like really is that passionate or intimate. He's just always like, "Hey, Debbie," and he's always like, "Hi." Like they obviously don't have a sexual relationship, which will come up. He also asked Debbie, and she said that she's going to look once she gets back from the Hamptons.
Mhm. You know what, Bob? I'll look once I get back from the Hamptons. Okay. Thanks, Debbie. Uh-huh.
He had said in an interview, Robert Durst, back in 2010, that whoever wrote the note had to be the killer. And
Mhm.
this almost felt like a bait to the police. Like, if you prove it's me, then you get me.
Mhm.
So Bob is later talking to an old friend slash someone that he used to be a lawyer for him in the past, but not one of the main lawyers of the case, Stewart. And he's talking about the handwriting. It's like, "Stewart, you saw the handwriting. They got no case. They try to arrest someone else." And that's true. During that time, and this is all about Susan Berman's death, this is the trial again for Susan Berman's death, and they're going to be talking about all the other things to tie him in. But Susan Berman, again, was a writer and had a manager at the time, a talent manager, that he said, "I mostly handled actors, but I handled her." And this was when they were trying to option, I guess, her big mafia script, but it didn't go anywhere. And she sort of became what he described as sort of a really annoying, high maintenance, like kind of bitchy woman who would call him and like task him for things. Meanwhile, he's not making her any money. So it's kind of like, why are you asking me to do these things? Because it isn't like you're not paying me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not being paid for this, obviously.
Yeah, let me just reset that because you said that he's not making her. She is not making him any money. So she's the journalist who wants a talent person, like someone to help her, but she just kind of uses him as her assistant. And it doesn't make any sense because she isn't actually earning him any money. And they
Yes.
have a contentious relationship. And they thought because he had also crawled into the window
Crazy.
during that active crime scene to like go through stuff in the house to look for things. And when they asked him, "How'd you get this?" He's like, "Oh, I got it from the house." They're like, "How'd you get in the house?" He's like, "The window." Like, obviously, you guys taped the front, so I couldn't get in that way. It's so funny.
Yeah.
These
And later
people, the
on,
audacity, the amount of audacity for all of this situation is just so hilarious.
it's wild left and right. But yeah, he later on signs his name in like one of the sign-in sheets, and it's all block letters. And so then they take that fucking sign-in sheet to a handwriting expert. He's like, and looks at the Godiva note, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, very probable it's the same guy." So he's arrested. So
Mhm.
unfortunately, because of that, Robert Durst's lawyer has like probable cause for like, or not, I'm sorry, has reasonable doubt, a really good reasonable doubt situation. So, um, yeah. So then besides Niall, the other challenge was Bob was in New York and had flown, they had a record of him to San Fran, but there was no evidence that he was in LA where Susan Berman was. And of course, San Fran from LA, it's like at least 5 hours away by car, much less if you fly. But that is doable. You
Yeah.
can fly, you
Mhm.
can drive. Everyone does it. I mean,
Mhm.
I've done it before. It's 5 hours, and
Mhm.
there's
Mhm.
it's a drive. So, but that was a problem because how if he's not there, he's not there. It's a great alibi.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
We get a Deborah in the early 2000s, and she, again, Deborah is his wife now, is disposed by the people reopening the case for Kathy Durst's disappearance slash murder. Okay. And so
Deposed.
when that
But
is being,
yes.
what I say?
Disposed, like disposal, like threw in the trash. Deposed.
Deposed.
She gets
Yes, you're right.
deposed by
You're
that.
right.
Yeah.
She has what I will say looks like obvious tension in her jaw that looks medically it looks medically like that's what's happening. There's a lot of tension. There's a lot of tension in
You're
that
really
jaw.
quick to sniff out cocaine, no pun intended.
Yeah, I don't know
Cocaine
what you mean by
usage.
that. I don't do any, but anyway, but yeah, you're right. I like to with Botox fillers and with like drug usage. I always have like a little like, and I sniff already. All right,
Yeah.
I sniff in real life, and you're right.
You're very quick to point it out, to like notice it and to point it out. Meanwhile, I'm like, what? What's going on? Yeah, so like she definitely is got something going on with her, but she like doesn't want to be involved in anything.
Hmm.
So they start to talk a little bit about like when they got married, and how it when it happened, how it happened, who married, who asked for that. They're trying to basically better understand their relationship as a married couple. And how it is that their communication, um because they're married, like she has rights as a spouse when it comes to providing information about him. And so then we skip to Stuart Altman, who is again Bob's friend from the 10th grade, who is a lawyer, who is somebody that Bob helped throughout his career by like throwing Stuart some work every now and then, because Bob is a rich guy. Rich people, they need lawyers sometimes,
Hmm.
more so than the rest of us. And
Hmm.
so to be able to throw some work his friend's way was the way that he kind of kept that friend loyal to him. It's the way Bob does a lot of things. And
Hmm.
throughout this, I'm just like, oh God, I just want someone to buy my loyalty. I'll do that.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of obligation that comes with it too. But yeah, like, and also this is just setting up his players because now he has a wife that he can do business with, and she can't go up against him, and all their communications protected, spousal privilege. And now he has a friend that he can always say, or can say that is attorney-client privilege, and then be able to like maneuver in that way. And the very famous version of that is Robert Kardashian was there the morning, like, deeply involved in O.J. Simpson and Nicole Brown's life. And so, even though he wasn't a criminal defense attorney, in order to make sure that he would not be deposed and asked questions during the trial, he sat at the bench and pretended to be on O.J.'s defense team,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
which
yeah.
is which was
Smart.
I mean, I'm so that's kind of what I was thinking is the same thing, but except for Stewart doesn't want to be involved as much and so isn't showing up every day. And with that other guy, with Vegas Blobbity Blue and Texas Joe, you know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, but Stewart is also like having conversations with Bob and then saying that they're not even doing it right. Like Bob and Stewart are
Yes.
still talking, but on recorded lines where they're talking about golf and like balloons
TV
and other
Guide.
shit. Like, yeah, they're just, yeah,
T-
what's on TV, Bob?
Let me read it to you. Well,
Yeah.
uh, let's see. There's Family Feud at 8.
Oh, love it,
Wheel
love
of
it.
Okay, Wheel of Fortune 8:30.
Oh, yeah, that's great. That's great. What's next?
CSI Miami at 9.
Oh, it's a
Oh,
great
I love it. No, my
one.
favorite. I love with dead people, murdering people. I love it so
Ah,
much.
yeah. I
I love
love
that
it.
show's
That one's
great.
great.
Let's see. 10 o'clock. Oh, this is dumb.
Yeah, no, I don't like
It's
it. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Family
yeah,
Guy.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't like that at all. I don't like it. Yeah, that's the one's dumb. That
Oh,
gets
guess how's your bowel movements? Are you pooping? Yeah,
I'm shitting like a river, you know? I'm over here, I'm just having a great time. It's
Oh my
working.
god, yeah, they really need to talk about that. And so
I was so mad. I'm telling you right now, I can tell you exactly where I was when that was said. I didn't take notes because I was cleaning off this thing I got here, and I'm with like Pine Sol and bleach and like a rag, and I'm cleaning every little crevice of it because I don't know whose house this has been in prior to mine. And he says diarrhea, and I'm over there. I can tell you because I was like, what? Oh, was so mad. I don't want to talk about poop.
he does.
Mm.
He wants to talk to everyone all day long about it. But Stuart Altman is, also kind of an ambassador for Robert Durst the entire time. They have clips of him going on 48 hours with his wife just being like, oh, Robert Durst is a regular guy with lots of money. And then later on Dateline with his wife saying how great he is. And his wife is Emily Altman.
Mhm.
And Emily would come into Stewart's law office, and do the books. And so she also comes in to the jail and has like one of those like FaceTime conversations. A real, like, she's like, they're behind glass or whatever, they're seeing each other like through a monitor. And she comes in and he's just like, oh, Emily, you look sexy. Does Stewart know how sexy you look? She's like,
I mean, I know. I know. Asks her to stand up and back up, and she does, so that he could see like her
all
full body.
top to bottom.
That is crazy. And she's giggling like a schoolgirl.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's like Lil Wayne in that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, he reminds me I don't know. Anyway,
Describe that. Describe that.
just like a very small, horny person. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
okay, great.
Who loves to be the female form. So, yeah, basically, Emily, having worked at the attorney's office of her husband / blah blah blue, now also gets privilege. Maybe
Mhm,
or maybe not. So
mhm.
all of it's so interesting. So then John calls Emily, and it's very difficult. She says she has no clue whether. Oh, sorry. John calls, Emily to talk about whether she knows if he was in LA or not. Like, that's the crux of what they need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So funny. This
She's so
whether or not he was
confused.
in, yeah, she's so poor that poor lady.
She's
That
like,
poor
no, he did
Emily.
not do anything. There's no way that Robert Durst did it. Jewish wealthy men don't kill people, especially when they're friends with my husband. That's the criteria. Listen, if you look up murderers in a book, I'll tell you what
Mhm.
it doesn't say. Jewish wealthy men who are friends with whatever, Sam Altman.
Stuart Altman.
Stuart Altman, you're just like, oh my God. She's like, my lawyers just say don't engage. So Altman is called to testify, and when he does, he is effusive.
Oh my god. What a good
He's
word, effusive.
belabored. Yeah,
What a good
it's
word.
belabored and frustrating and tedious to extract anything from him.
Yes.
He is he plays it as being masterfully kind of out of it, maybe a little like, you got to really bring it down to me. He's just like, I don't know the meaning of that. What do
Yeah.
you mean by that?
Yeah.
No, I
And
just
it's yeah. Yeah. And the judge is like can't even deal with it because he's like, you're a lawyer. You can't come in here and pretend to be dumb. I'm sorry, you know what that means. Now answer the question. Like like the John Lewin has to like look at the judge almost every 5 minutes. And it's like, can you just make him answer the fucking question so we can get on with this? Like, come up with better answers.
Yeah, like, has Durst ever given you money outside of legal services? The judge smirks, trying to get him to talk, and we find out that his wife was given a car, a $40 to $50 Lexus. Sorry, $50,000 Lexus.
I was
That'd be
like,
crazy, Lexus for free.
I was like, yeah.
And then they're like, you know what? Why the fuck are we fucking with this dumb lawyer when we've got the fucking grand prize right behind. We're like, Emily, call to the stage. Emily's
Mhm.
nervous,
Mhm.
quaking in her boots, shaking,
Mhm.
honey. She just
Mhm.
like, she drove herself in that nice Lexus. She's like, I gotta keep this Lexus. Sure, he might have killed people,
Mhm.
but I like
Mhm.
this Lexus. It has heat seats,
Yeah.
you know, has
Yeah.
a moon roof. And
Oof, I love a
so
moonroof. I have a
he
moonroof and I love it.
yeah, well, you won't give it up. He goes, do you have knowledge of Robert Durst in LA around the time of Susan Berman's death? And she goes, God, I wish I could remember. And they're like, oh, yeah. Not
Yeah.
know?
Not know.
Not know? Got
Ah,
you.
open.
Yeah.
Doors open. Doors open. And they're like, they knew that she had to have known something because of how hard they were trying to keep her off the stand. And so,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, John goes
Oh,
at
yeah.
her. I
Yeah.
mean, and I wanted to be like, objection, badgering the witness, and you know what I'm saying. Like, so did his lawyers. Objection, objection, objection. Like that one lawyer with the long hair kept popping
Mhm.
up like a jack in a box. Like just like, huh? Objection, overruled.
Or like
Objection,
overruled.
overruled.
Oh, he sometimes would be like, overruled. He
Yeah,
wouldn't be, it'd be like a Carol Churchill play. You wouldn't be able to finish the fucking thought. There'd be
overruled.
like, objection. I'm like,
Yeah.
overruled. Yeah. Um,
The
so
judge would
basically,
not let up, and that was so funny. But yeah, they basically got her to acknowledge that Robert was in LA.
yeah, that Robert was in LA and stayed at the Beverly Hilton December 2000.
Yep.
And immediately after she gets off the stand, we get a fucking tape recording of Bob on the phone. You know, the twins with the dried lips probably were there talking about it. And they're like, Durst calls Emily stupid and said she created a whole scenarios doing a testy act. Um,
Oh
and then
my
he like
god.
does this like impression of her, and the
I
twins love it.
don't know.
Like he does
Yeah.
this thing of
He hates
her.
that. He hates her
Oh,
now. He's like, "Why the
yeah.
fuck did that?" Yeah. He never would have imagined that would have taken him down as his friend from high school, Emily Altman, who
I mean, Jewish wealthy men, especially ones that are friends with my husband, don't kill people.
I
that
mean,
is
she thinks her husband is the shiznit. And let me tell you right now, I
I
could already
know it.
tell who she is in the like in the ladies who lunch. She's the one that everybody invites because she's so nice. And if she weren't there, she'd be upset. And she always gives because she wants them to she wants to fit in so bad. So she always gives. And they're like, well, we have to invite Emily. She's the one who always does this. And she does a good job of it. We don't really like her. She's not very bright. But it's Emily Altman. I went to school with her. It's like that kind of thing. Like she's
Mm.
not the sharpest knife in the tool. Now, let me tell you that Deborah, sharpest bitch ever. Okay.
I thought you had popped champagne.
Oh, because I
I don't
was
know why
like,
you
yay, we're done.
We are. It's actually a short episode, even though I have written so many notes. Anyway.
Isn't
Okay,
that
well
wonderful?
we have 2
Great.
more episodes, and we will be done with this season 2 of the life and deaths of Robert Durst. I've really enjoyed it so far. This is a banana story, and I think it's really well done. And here we are. If you want to follow us on social media, I highly recommend you do so. Just type in at DocuSweeties on your Instagram, on TikTok, and add a 1 at DocuSweeties1 with an X on X, sorry, at DocuSweeties1 on X/Twitter. We have a Facebook group, the DocuSweeties Podcast Facebook group, and then also we have a YouTube. Please go and subscribe to our YouTube, and then, you know, I don't know, give us a review. You do you. Thank you, though, and also give us money.
Yes. So if you want to give us money, you can do so on patreon.com/DocuSweeties. For $10 a month, you get exclusive content like the visuals of what you're listening to, plus a live every first Monday of the month. Currently, I have a book club on there. So if you'd like to join the book club and know what we're reading, go on there and join. That's all included in the $10 a month. So we hope you guys have a fantastic evening, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.